Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the latest in Chapel Street Players virtual season. My name is Scott Mason. I am the president of Chapel Street Players, and my co-host for today,
Brian Touchette. I am the secretary of the board at Chapel Street. Welcome to the conclusion of our virtual season because of COVID. The entire season has been virtual, the 86th season. Even though it's a virtual season, we're ending the same way we always end our seasons, with our fundraiser.
Yes, and normally our fundraiser is indeed a fundraiser, but all of our live stream shows, virtual shows this season have been given to you for free. But we would gladly appreciate any donations you're willing to make, and you can get information on that will be shared on the screen for donations. So
the donation bar will be up soon, and we today are going to get a special sneak peek behind the scenes, sort of what happens with the Dame and her family. We're using a new platform called Wiz, and all of her family is going to be joining in through that platform.
Wait, the Dame's family.
Yes, today's show is about all the family is coming, and they're having some sort of a family discussion about something important, I heard.
Well, wait, I thought this was like the other Dame virtual shows that she's done, on her own, the things with the taste testing and the book reading at the end, story time. And I've got 4 guests that are lined up right now.
Dame didn't mention 4 guests. I'm not sure she knew about that.
Well, maybe I'll go. Let me just go talk to her.
Well, you can't talk to her. She's in her studio. I can't even go in her studio, but we could set up a different place for you that you could
I'll just use my phone and go over there.
All right. Well, when I need to go help her because it's some technology things that are new that she, and I'm helping with tech that she may not be as familiar with. But when you are ready, when you're over there and set, just let me know, and the 2 of you can discuss this.
Yeah, I think we should. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will be back then. I'll see you at the next break.
Good
luck.
Hopefully she doesn't kill you or me. So apparently there's been a little confusion about today's show, but we'll be back to talk about that. So for now, without further ado, please enjoy apparently this thing called the Dame E Bunch.
Hello, possums! I'm so glad you could join me. I'm still stuck in the United States, but it is that time of year for my annual barbecue and family reunion. Now, apparently, Mother, who, as you know, I tucked away in a maximum security home, apparently she has a very special announcement for the entire family today. Now, my family, believe it or not, is spread across the great wide world, possums. But thanks to this new platform, specifically it's called Wiz, we are going to be able to have our annual family reunion, albeit virtually. Now, I know that many of you are accustomed to working with Zoom, but this new platform, Wiz, is apparently much faster and more streamlined. I thought it would be fun if you got a chance to see my crazy family. Oh, one! You figured out how to get on.
Oh, yes, I'm waiting.
Well, have you gotten confirmation from any family members? There should be my brother Richard, my sister, God forbid, Agnes, my lovely daughter Valmai, my special son, Kenny. Oh, and maybe Richard's wife, and a third cousin who's twice removed. I wish I could remove her altogether, Daphne. And, one dear houseboy, one long ho. You'll join us because you're like one of the family, and then not. So, have you gotten any confirmations?
Yes, almost everyone will be attending. So, do you need a martini?
Oh, one. You read my mind. But now that I think about it, it is a little bit too early in the day, even for yours truly, to have a martini. So why don't you bring me a nice, piping hot cup of tea? So good. Oh, and some buns, perhaps, too, Possums. So, as I was saying, I'm going to show you my...
Excuse me, Dame Edna?
Yes, Mr. Bryan. Thank God, perhaps Chapel Street sent along a few tech people.
Dame, your manager is waiting to speak to you.
Oh my God!
One?
Yes!
Was that my 25-piece excellent china set?
It's 107 pieces now.
Oh, for Pete's sake, just bring me a martini! Now, Mr. Bryan, my manager, Scott Mason, that unscrupulous hack, how did he find me?
Dame Edna, you're live on social media right now.
Oh, of course. By all means, let him whiz with me.
Dame Edna, did you forget that you have a gig today?
I don't consider my family reunion a gig.
No. I'm talking about your live stream show, Facebook, YouTube, and you do the taste testing and the trivia and the book reading. I lined up 4 very special guests for you.
I thought that was next weekend. Can't we just make it next weekend?
You don't understand. Your guests are waiting. They're
But
waiting to be interviewed right now.
But my family is waiting to whiz with me.
You don't know how hard I work to get these guests. Wait, whiz what?
If I may make a suggestion,
Huh?
what if we go ahead, Dame, and record the interviews with your special guests, and then Scott, we can plug them into the live show next weekend.
Does that work for you, Scott?
Let me think.
Now that might take longer than my show.
Damn, here's your martini.
Am I supposed to drink it virtually?
Dame, do you still have the bios of the guests that I sent to you?
One.
Yes.
I need the bios and bring them in the martini.
啊，死老太婆，喝喝喝
Are you
喝。
satisfied, Scott?
Yes. Thank you so much, Dame Edna.
Bastard. So, Mr. Bryan, what about my family? They're going to be whizzing in just a bit.
It's fine. I can explain it to them if they log in.
Oh, yes. Oh, good Lord. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you, one. Thank you, one.
You're welcome.
Mr. Bryan, I have a suggestion. I don't think we need to have one's camera in the interviews.
One what?
Oh, who's on first? I don't know what's on second. One long ho, take him out.
Right. Yes, right. Sorry.
God, this little old Chapel Street.
Are you ready, Dame? Your first guest is waiting.
I need a drink first, Mr. Bryan. All this mess. And you know, Possums, Chapel Street tries. They really do. Now, let me read the introduction of my first guest. Oh, Possums, now you've heard about this very special guest on the national news. He's known only as Smith because he, after years of working with this organized drug ring, he is coming forward to name names at great risk to his own life. So, of course, we've got to hide his identity. So, now without further ado, in this very special interview, here is Smith. The federal government is so grateful for your role in this and has gone to great lengths to conceal your identity. But are you still afraid that those that you're turning in might figure out who you are?
Yes. Every day I live in absolute terror of these criminals figuring out who I am. If my identity was revealed, I'd be a marked man or woman.
Oh, crap. Hold on.
Yes, much better. Oh, so Smith, you are truly a hero taking such a big risk. I commend you, Possum, for your bravery and bringing much needed justice into the world. So what made you decide to turn on these criminals?
Thank you, Dame. You see, for years, I was one of them. And then I had an epiphany one day of...
Smith? Smith? Well, I guess we're having some technical difficulties, eh, Mr. Bryan?
Yes.
Yes, oh, Mr. Bryan. So, moving on. My next guest, Possums, is the latest New York Times best-selling author of Get Thee to a Nunnery. And yes, she is a nun. Please welcome Sister Mary O'Scary.
Oh, hello, Dave. Hello.
Oh, yes. Welcome to the show, Sister Mary. Now, I've got to say how much I enjoyed your book.
You didn't even read it.
Oh, don't just echo affect crazy whizzing. So, sister, this is basically the story of your life. Sister, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes, a little delay. Good. So your book, it details the story of your turbulent childhood and how you ended up in a nunnery. I mean, can you reflect on that? I mean, can you talk about it? Can you expand it a bit? The background? Can you please?
Oh, yes.
Well, I mean, there you have it. Yes. Now, sister, not me, but some people have challenged the validity of your story. I mean, they say that you made up some of the story, especially that vision of God. Yeah. I mean, they're calling you out that this book is fiction. I mean, do you have anything to say about that? The claim of your stories, the validity.
Well, no, I don't think so.
Well, sister, I swear to God, sorry. I could go on talking to you all night, but I think it is time for our
Well,
next.
I did see a vision of God, and in this vision, I would.
Well, Possums, wasn't she just so full of informative delight? So, moving on to our next guest. Let's hope he's a little more loquacious. Our next guest is known for his bit parts as a rising star in such classic films as The Godfather, The French Connection, and Raging Bull. But now, in his golden years, Possums, he's enjoying a comeback in his biggest role to date as the star of Manhood. Please welcome Possums, German icon, Hans Weiner.
That's Wiener, Herr Dame.
Beg pardon?
My name is Hans Wiener.
Oh, yes. Oh, good. So, Hans, with your manhood, you finally have a leading role. What's it like to have such a huge part?
Well, Dame, I don't like to brag. Believe it or not, I'm rather shy. I'm not one to share the more private parts of my life.
Oh, of course. You've been such a private person.
But I'm definitely proud of what I've got. I mean, roles I've had, no matter how big or small. But as I think they say in America, it takes DOS balls to do what I do.
Ghost balls?
Nein, das balls. It's not the size of the part, Dame, but what you do with it. I mean, we all want to show what we're made of, yeah?
Oh, yes, absolutely perfect. Now, Hans, you did once in your career win the notorious Razzie Award for your cameo in Hot Mess. I mean, Hot Mess. No, not this.
Well, Dame, I'm not one to air my dirty laundry. I mean, I am a proud man, but I'm willing to show you my Razzie.
Oh no, God, no, that's not necessary.
That Razzie award is up here somewhere. God in Himmel, I must have shrunk because I used to be able to reach it. Just reach out and grab it.
Oh, good Lord.
Wait, it might be in one of my trunks. Oh, you know what they say, Dame? Sometimes these things just fall between the cracks.
Oh,
Listen, it's got to be here somewhere. Oh, I'm sorry to be such a pain in the butt.
Oh, good Lord. Well, Possums, it seems that Hans Weiner is having technical difficulties and we won't be able to see his ass. And the Razzie after all. Oh, good Lord. So, my next guest, Possums. My next guest for this evening is a very special woman. Let me just read it. Oh, yes, Mrs. Bertha Future. Bertha Future. In any case, Possums, dear sweet Bertha is the oldest living woman in America, turning 108 this week. Please welcome Bertha. Well, Bertha, I must say, you look a lot younger than I thought. A little bit of a nip and tuck, Possum.
Oh, I'm not Bertha. I'm her caretaker, Nurse Hatchet.
Oh, is she indisposed or taken ill?
Oh, no. How do I put this?
Oh, good Lord, she's not passed.
Well, she's past the kitchen, I think. You see, she doesn't move very fast.
Well, how long will she be?
Oh, not too long. Perhaps another 20 minutes. That's right, Bertha. Stop and take a breath.
I'm on a tight schedule.
No, not the kitchen phone. Over here in the study.
I don't have that much time.
Oh, she's waited so long for this moment.
I'm sure she has. Well, perhaps we can join Bertha for her 109th.
Well, that's a wrap with the interviews, Dame.
Oh my God.
Oh, yes, one. I couldn't have put it any better. That was such a disaster. Where does my manager, Scott Mason, find these freaks? Oh, Mr. Bryan, I hope you can edit something out of all that mess.
Steven Spielberg couldn't edit the mess.
No, you're right. Oh, boys, that was so nerve-wracking. I've sweated my dress. My makeup is a horrible mess. I cannot be a gigastar and meet my family like this. One long ho, do you think I have time to change?
You never change.
Huh?
You've got a few minutes. Your sister is already logged in for the reunion.
Agnes? Oh, God. Leave it to her to be early, Mr. Bryan. The bitch. I know you'll take good care of her, Mr. Bryan.
Oh my God.
Is this thing working? I can't see anyone.
Ms. Dubois?
Yes?
This is Brian, the tech guy.
Yes, okay. I can hear you, but I can't see you.
We can't see you either.
Oh, one long ho?
Yes.
Is that you?
It's not Galloping Gourmet.
Well, I see you've worked for my sister far too long.
I know.
Well, I actually can't see you. I don't think this green thing is working.
Ms. Dubois, the green screen is supposed to go behind you, not in front of you.
Oh, I don't do this sort of thing often. Oh.
Well, I think the Dame will like it the other way.
Where is everyone? Am I the first to arrive? Where's my sister?
Oh, Dame is changing.
I doubt that will ever happen.
Her clothes.
I know what you meant.
Ms. Dubois, we're going to put you in the green room for now while we wait for everyone else.
The green room? Is that like the green screen? How does that work?
I better make more martini.
Let's just go back to the hosts.
Well, at least I got my interviews in, and then we'll be joining the Dame and her family shortly. Meanwhile, if you'd like to leave a comment or ask a question, we will respond to them throughout the show. You're back. We got the interviews done.
That did not go well. That did not go well at all. And we haven't even gotten to the family yet. So back in March 2020, Chapel Street, as did almost every place, have to close its doors. And we had a show that was supposed to open about a month later, Moon Over the Brewery. So we had to postpone it. So we weren't sure if we'd be able to get the rights, but good news, we got the rights. And it is coming back in September. It's going to open on September 17th. The banner will be up in a moment. And we're thrilled to have people back in the theater.
Yes, everyone is so excited to be back in the theater. And for those of you who are subscribers in the 2019-2020 season, of which Moon Over the Brewery was supposed to be the final show of that season, you will still be able to see the show for free as part of your way delayed subscription show. For the rest of you, you'll have to pay, of course, full price for it. But we're so glad to have you back in the theater. And the last show of that season is every season is the fundraiser, and I was supposed to be directing the two versions of The Odd Couple, the female version, the male version. We tried to move that to this fall as well, but unfortunately somebody else must be doing it, or we could not get the rights. So unfortunately we had to indefinitely postpone the 57th fundraiser.
Right. So as Scott said, it was the 57th. So we decided then to keep this fundraiser, the Dame E Bunch, as the 58th fundraiser in order to sort of keep the alignment between the seasons and the fundraiser. And who knows, hopefully someday when we're able to do Odd Couple, maybe it'll be out of order, but it'll be the 57th.
You know,
again.
we wing it just like the whole virtual season.
Yes. So anyway, so I need to get back to the Dame because I'm really hoping this next segment goes a bit better than that first one. So let me go back and try to help with technology.
All right.
I'll see you at the next break.
I'm sure you'll do fine.
I hope so.
So while we were chatting, it appears that most of the Dame's family has arrived, and they've been chatting while we've been chatting. And so I think we should get back to them because, they put the fun in dysfunction. So let's take a look at Dame Edna's crazy family.
And I just got my second shot a week ago. Took forever. I was on the phone calling every day or on the computer. Honestly, all of my friends had a hell of a time trying to get vaccinated. You think it would be easier in New York City, but getting tickets to Hamilton was easier.
It was very easy here in Australia. They had a mobile service that came right out to the farm. Vaccination card, and lollipop in one fell swoop.
Why does the card have to be so big?
Oh, I just got my vaccination card laminated. I got a lanyard to hold it around my neck. I am out and proud about my vaccination.
Really? I should have done that with mine.
Kenny, did you have the Moderna or Pfizer?
Oh, Pfizer?
Did you have a reaction?
Oh, yes, Auntie. I felt like crap the next day. I was achy and sore and had a fever. It was like having the flu.
Really? I had no reaction whatsoever. My neighbor, on the other hand, was out of sorts for days. Your cousin Reggie was fine. No reaction. My wife, Matilda, had a slight fever, and she's not joining us. Now, the stable boy.
Stable boy I met. Kiss his horses.
What?
Dickie, did you have the Moderna or the Pfizer?
Oh, no, sis. I had the Johnson & Johnson. How about you?
I had the Moderna. I wish I had access to the J&J. As it was, I had to drive 2 hours to get the vaccine.
Uncle, the J&J, that was one shot, right?
Oh, yes, Kenny. One and done.
And no reaction at all?
Nope.
You're so lucky. My flatmate, Roberto, ended up having terrible stomach issues afterwards. It was either the vaccine or it could have been the fish tacos.
Oi. Gas.
Yes. What about you, sis? Did you get your vaccine?
My doctor's ass swelled up like a balloon.
What did Valmai say?
I think her internet might be spotty.
Did she say she had the Moderna or the Pfizer or the Johnson & Johnson?
Oh, who cares? Bad enough I've got children romping across the lawn. Why can't the little COVID-carrying critters still be in quarantine? But now I've got all of you crazy lot carrying on. Tomato, Pfizer, Moderna. That's all anyone talks about anymore. It's like the new version of talking about the weather in small talk. You guys have been on this whiz for 20 minutes, and the entire discussion has been about vaccines. Which vaccine? What, if any, reaction to the vaccine? How long did you have to wait? Isn't there anything else we family can talk about?
Mother, drink. Bread. Ice cream.
Oh, yes, Valmai. Let's play a word game.
No, Auntie Agnes. It's her sound going in and out.
Well, if anyone cares, I had my second shot yesterday.
Oh, good Lord! And it shows, Agnes. You must be having a terrible reaction since you look just awful. like death warmed over and over and over again.
Oh, good Lord.
Every time the two of you get together, it's like a rat fight. I swear, I don't understand the two of you.
I'll have you know, Edna, my husband this morning said I look like $1 million.
In loose change.
Oh, Edna, why don't you lace up your mouth and rent your tight face out as a football?
Really tight. Huh, Agnes, you're so tight. When you raise your eyebrows, your kneecaps turn white.
I hope tonight you confuse your preparation H for your face cream and shrink that big head of yours.
Agnes, I can read you like an open book, and I wish I could just shut you up as easily.
I didn't come here to be insulted.
No? Doesn't that happen to you everywhere you go?
Agnes, knock it off, the two of you, will you? You never change. I love my older sisters dearly, but enough is enough.
Older sisters? Listen, Dickie, I'll have you know that Agnes is the oldest sister.
Mama, please. Uncle is right. None of us are going to whiz any longer unless you stop.
Mama, you and Aunt Agnes kiss my ass.
Well, thanks, my usually sweet niece. I see the acidic apple doesn't fall far from the bush.
Aunt Agnes, that's not what Valmai was saying. It was her connection.
Look, can we all just agree to be civil? Or else I'm signing off.
Oh, dear, dear brother. You can't sign off just yet. Not until we've heard our dear mother's announcement.
What announcement?
Is Mother with you, Edna?
Oh, hell no. Edna still has her locked up in the maximum security Twilight home for the bewildered.
For her own safety and ours.
Grandmama, crazy.
You see, even Valmai agrees with me. Thank you, dear daughter.
No, Mama. I can read lips. And what she was actually saying was, keeping Grandmama in that home is just crazy.
You read lips, my son, I see.
So, what's the announcement?
Mama!
Yes, Dickie, what was that?
I said, so what is the announcement?
Oh, Mother's decided to announce her last wishes in advance of her death. She has too much time on her hands, and she made up her feeble little mind to leave her entire estate to just one of us.
One?
Yes.
Well, one seems to agree.
I say, is someone using a cat filter?
A cat filter? What?
Don't you see the news, sis?
Are you going to start now, too?
It's a special feature you can use on your image, Aunt Agnes.
You're all a bunch of twits. It's in the film there, in the box. It's my pussy.
Oh, good Lord.
See, look, one of them. Get it out. Get it out. Come join us, one long ho. Doesn't he look scrumptious?
One lung ho. See. Squint. Tiny eyes. Look like that.
Is she Asian hating me?
No one. Her sound is not working right. It keeps bottoming out.
Well, we could hear that bottom loud and clear, Kenny.
Hello, one long ho.
Hello, dickhead.
Beg pardon.
No. No one, it's my brother, Richard. What?
Oh, right. Rick Hard?
Though we call him Dickie for short.
I'm sorry to hear.
I'm used to it. Now, let's get back to the matter at hand. Mother is leaving all of her money to just one of us.
You heard me right, Dickie. One.
I heard nothing.
Oh, one, please. Give it a rest.
One of us? I mean, one of her children? Edna, me, or little Dickie?
Uncle, don't you wish you were the firstborn so they could call you Big Dickie?
God. Dick. Hurt.
Valmai and her bad audio are really becoming annoying.
No, my dear brother and sister. She said it was going to be one of the family. Any one of us, you know how crafty she can be.
Thank God I'm not the one who put her away. Edna, you don't have a snowball's chance.
Oh, don't you fear, Agnes. Mother despises you for marrying that no-good Yankee.
Do I have to put the two of you in a timeout? Don't start up again. All through our childhood, I always had to get between the two of you before you killed one another.
Leave it to our little Dickie to come between us once again.
So where is Grandmama with the issues and the news?
Little brother getting fat.
Valmai!
Look, there's no point in arguing about it until we hear it straight from Mother.
You mean when we hear it straight from that horse's mouth? Oh.
So, where is she?
She will be here soon, Agnes. Relax. Apparently, there is a major mahjong tournament happening in the home.
Edna, where's your son, Bruce?
Bruce? He's tied up.
Your son is too busy to join the family?
No, Agnes, you twit. He is literally tied up. He and his wife were having marital issues. So to bring some spark, some excitement back to their life, they enrolled in a 2-week BDSM camp in the Catskills. And there's no electronic gadgets allowed.
I am sure the only gadgets there are battery operated.
Kinky. Boots.
Oh, I love that show.
No, Auntie.
And where is your son, Agnes?
I have no idea. I've misplaced him.
You've lost your son.
No, Dickie, Agnes's son, Alan, he couldn't take his mother, the bitch, anymore and ran away to lead a life of drink and debauchery.
That is not true.
Oh, Agnes, you are in denial, and I wish that you were in denial, drowning.
Well, with some of the family missing, how can Mother make her announcement?
Well, according to Mother, it's going to be like bingo night. We have to be present to win.
I see.
Uncle, do you want Cousin Reggie to log on?
No.
Aha! So, there we have it. Here we are, the lucky ones.
Greedy ones?
Oh, don't be an imp, Kenny. You know, you can leave the Wiz anytime you want.
I'm not going anywhere.
Mr. Bryan, can we put Kenny in time out?
Dame Edna, I'm just a tech guy. Don't get me involved.
I don't mean to appear selfish. Is one hung low eligible?
That's one long hole.
I thought that's what I said.
Mother adores one hung low. You got me saying it. I mean, one long ho. Precious boy, he's like family.
Here. I'm here.
I don't think Valmai should count. We can't understand a thing she's saying.
Agnes, you bitch!
Well,
So you heard that loud and clear, didn't you, Agnes?
Only fair.
I should have.
Who are you down there?
Hi.
Who are you?
Edna, is that your daughter, Lois?
I thought Lois was abducted by a rogue koala when she was a child.
No, Unc. We found her, and she joined the family briefly, but now she's gone missing again.
Lois. Nasty. Bush.
Oh, seriously? TMI.
Unc, I thought it was your wife.
No, Matilda is at dance class.
Enough. So let's just ask her. Who are you down there?
I'm Susan Boudreaux.
Are you a long-lost relative?
Someone is crashing our whiz.
No, I'm Susan Boudreaux. I'm a longtime Chapel Street participant.
And
I logged on to watch the annual fundraiser.
Susan, it's been so long since I've seen you because of COVID. I didn't even realize it was you. I thought you were one of this crazy-ass, one of Dame's family.
Mr. Bryan, is that you coming in?
Yes, Dame Edna. But Susan, the show is being live streamed on Facebook and YouTube right now. That's where you should be watching.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, Brian, you know I'm a mess with technology. I thought I was watching the show. I mean, it's really funny.
not intentionally.
No, Susan, you've been in the show.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Oh, don't apologize, dear girl. You fit right into this motley crew.
Speak for yourself, Dick.
What should I do?
I'm going to take you out, and then I will text you the Facebook link.
Right. Thank you. You know, it was nice spending time with you all. I mean, you're all such lovely people.
Oh, yes, any friend of Mr. Bryan's is a friend of ours.
Thank you so much. It's just wonderful.
Thank God we got rid of her.
Exactly.
Mother would have purposely given her the lot.
I like her.
Oh,
shut up, Juan.
全家人都一副死样子。
Alice, whole, eat me.
Valmai. Oh.
Is she having what I think she's having?
No, Auntie. She froze.
I'll say.
Mr. Bryan, seriously, is there anything you can do about Valmai's terrible connection? Mr. Bryan?
He must be dealing with the party crasher. Sis, if you can hear me, perhaps you can log out and then log back in.
I've been trying.
Oh, good Lord, my dear boy Kenny. You're as smart with this whizzing thing as Mr. Bryan. You boys seem to have a lot in common.
But Valmai, if she logs out, but she might miss the announcement.
What if we all agree to take a whiz break?
Oh, really, Dickie? Can't you just say you need to tinkle?
You idiot, Agnes. He means to take a break from this whiz platform.
seriously, I do have to pee. Tinkle, Auntie.
Sure, you all go right ahead, and I'll be right here.
Oh, no.
Look, I need to pee back, but I'm not going to frankly take my flatmates and oh my God.
Listen, everyone. I will leave the whiz open, but remove all of you for a few minutes. And if your mother logs on, I will let her know you'll be on shortly.
Oh, Mr. Bryan, you are a miracle worker. Yes, excellent.
That's it, Bertha. You're almost here. No, the other side of the table. No, watch out for the tickety.
Wait, how did she get in here?
Well, that was a load of fun. I see we have a comment or two what we're going to respond to. First up from Carol Van Zoren says, congratulations, CSP. You've really done a great job this season pushing the technology envelope. Thank you so much, Carol, for watching. And yes, we have definitely, as stage actors, tried to adjust to the world of film and live streaming. And actually, for those of you who are interested, and Carol, hopefully you'll stick around too, after the show, we will be doing, Brian and I will be doing a talkback, talking about the virtual season and even showing some bloopers and outtakes from this very show. But speaking of whiz break, like the Dames family mentioned, we're going to let you have a brief 4-minute break so you can go get some popcorn or refresh your drink or what have you, use the restroom, and then we'll be right back with the grand finale of the Dame E bunch.
Players is thrilled to continue our 86th season, albeit virtually. I'm Dr. Reneé O'Leary, and as a 50-year volunteer in many capacities at Chapel Street, I have grown to love the group with my heart and soul. Chapel Street Players would not be able to provide this virtual season without the generous support of the community and viewers like you. We greatly appreciate any contributions you're able to make to support Chapel Street Players and the arts and keep them alive. Chapel Street is an all-volunteer and nonprofit organization. Any donations are tax-deductible in compliance with state and federal laws. Finally, on behalf of our board, volunteers, and patrons, I thank you for watching and donating. Hopefully that is, we'll see you in the theater in the fall.
Welcome back, and we have another comment. I did check. I saw that comment earlier, Michelle, and according to the dame, they are her pineapple sparklies, because I guess the glasses look like a pineapple, and they were apparently a gift from a good friend. So thank you for noticing.
It was lovely to see Renee in video at the theater, which was also great to see the theater seats again. Yeah, and as everybody knows that knows Chapel Street, a fundraiser would not be a fundraiser without the legendary Reneé G O'Leary. She has been in every single fundraiser, and going way back when they used to be done literally in a barn. We named the fundraiser after Renee, the 50th fundraiser, which is actually the one I directed. A funny thing happened on the way to the forum. It was quite an honor to direct the 50th, and amazing to have her in the show. She has been in shows where she is the lead, to supporting, to one show where all you saw were her legs going across a portal window. So I better get back because we're still trying to fix the sound issues, apparently.
Valmai's
sound issues. And the dame has been screaming. So right. I'm going to get back, and I'll see you at the next segment.
All right. So this is the grand finale of the Damey Bunch, and Brian and I will be back after the show to answer any final comments or questions. But don't forget to stick around after the final credits and scene, because we'll be doing a talk back about the Chapel Street virtual season. So meanwhile, let's see what the family has been up to. They've been chatting again, so enjoy.
So, dear brother, when do we get to meet this mystery man of yours?
I echo Valmai, and thank God we fixed your sound.
Right?
I'm not sure I'm ready to subject my new man to the family just yet.
I wouldn't.
That's enough out of you, little one. Don't make me mute you.
Which?
Well, what makes him so special, Kenny? His charm, his charisma, presence?
Oh, he's Jewish. We don't exchange Christmas presents.
Perhaps he's gifted.
I wouldn't say he's gifted. He just has it grouped better.
Really?
It's not easy to put my finger on it.
Is he a good lover?
Agnes, you wouldn't know a good lover if he was right under your nose.
I'm not sure I want to say in front of my mother.
Oh, please, Kenny. There's nothing your mother hasn't heard or seen.
Or done.
Agnes?
So, is he a good lover?
Oh, yes. He taught himself.
How's that?
And he's quite the romantic. Every time he leaves the flat, he leaves me a poem.
Ah, the pen is mightier than the sword.
Well, Dick, it's a hell of a lot easier to write with as well.
Do you have one of his poems?
Yes. This was attached to a rose this morning. I haven't even read it yet. Dearest Penny, here is a flower for my man of power. Pray do not crush my buds as you hold them, or the stalk that is hanging below. Place it instead next to your bed, above the drawer with your never mind. It wasn't one of his bests.
What did he mean by man of power?
Valmai, some things are best left unspoken.
Like that poem.
He was referring to my recent entry into power pressing at the gym.
You? Power pressing? You're not fit enough.
I would tend to agree.
Now you all leave my precious Kenny alone.
Not fit enough. Not fit enough. I'll show you who's fit enough.
Oh.
You want to see fit? I'll show you fit. Right
I
here.
just
You can see fit.
I don't get to see Kenny nude.
Me neither.
Ditto.
There. Could I do all that ironing if I wasn't fit enough?
Oh, that type of pressing.
Yes. What type were you thinking?
Oh, Kenny, my sister Agnes wasn't thinking at all, as usual.
Edna!
What? Look, I have my tender sisterly moments. You did get the birthday present I sent to you, right, Agnes?
The coffee table book from Amazon?
Yes, the Lost Temple of the Incas.
Edna, there was a cover, an intro page, and then the back cover. Nothing was in it.
Well, you twit. The temples are lost, aren't they? There are no pictures of them.
Does anyone have anything positive to say?
Well, I have some news.
Did you get the job?
Job?
No, she didn't. And I'll tell you why.
Mama.
During the interview, the boss asked Valmai what she thought was the best quality in a worker. And Valmai responded with being truthful. And then the boss said, I think honesty is the best policy. To which Valmai responded, I don't give a rat's ass what you think.
It wasn't exactly like that. He said he liked honesty.
So, what's your news?
I just finished a new song.
Oh, God, Valmai, you're not going to sing it, are you?
Oh, let's do hear it. We need something to pass the time.
What's it about?
Well, it's based on one of our childhood fables back in Australia. This little boy named Elijah gets lost in the outback for days and then gets befriended by a kangaroo who takes him to meet another lost child in the woods, a girl his age. They grow up together alone in the outback with the kangaroo, and they learn to hunt and make clothes, and they become young adults, and they fall in love. One day the kangaroo passes away, and Elijah and his mate hop their way back to civilization.
Yawn!
Let's hear it.
Yes, let's do hear
it. It's called Elijah. Elijah, 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 woo, Elijah, 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 hello.
That's it?
Perhaps the sound went out again.
You don't like it?
You see, this is why I don't encourage her.
I just...
Now, look what you've done. Let me call her.
Honestly, Edna, it's a wonder your children will even speak to you.
Well, that's really lush of you, Agnes, because I'm not the one who misplaced a child.
Sorry, sis. I have to agree with Agnes on this one. Do you remember when your nephew, my son Reggie, was 7 years old, and he asked you that question?
What question?
Huh? Well, thank you, Dick. If you must know, and I don't really truly see the big deal. You see, Agnes, Dickie's son asked me what it meant when two people share a bedroom and they sleep on top of one another.
And what did you say?
Well, of course, I spoke the truth. One should always be honest with a child. But I did handle it carefully because, he was only 7 at the time. So I told him it was called sexual intercourse.
The answer was bunk beds. Edna, he was asking about his friend's bunk beds.
Dickie, I have to say this. People often ask me why I don't wear rings on all of my fingers. And I tell them so that certain ones don't get weighed down. Good Lord! Who's that?
It's me, Mother. I'm back. Kenny talked me down, and at least he loves me.
Mama, don't you have something to say to Valmai?
Yes. Valmai, your makeup looks terrible. It's called mascara, not massacre your eyeballs.
You see, Kenny?
Would anyone like to hear about my prize-winning cucumber?
Oh, yes, Dickie. How doth your cucumber grow?
I just won grand prize at the Melbourne Fair for my 2'6" wonder.
A 2'6" cucumber?
Ooh, I see your mind ticking away, little brother.
Well, Valmai, that's gratitude.
Dickie, didn't you grow one that was 3'2"?
I was younger then, sis. I wasn't married and I had more time then.
I can't believe you grew it outside like that, and some other critter didn't get it.
Or a desperate housewife.
Ah, no. It was in the greenhouse. Far too cold outside this time of year to get it up.
What's your secret, Uncle, in growing one that big?
I spread plenty of manure on it. One has to use a lot of good manure. Spread it all around.
Dickie, shouldn't you call it fertilizer?
Oh, Agnes, it took him years to finally call the stuff manure.
Of course, Matilda helps as well.
Your wife is a whore.
Beg pardon?
Sound trouble again. I think she asked if your wife was a horticulturist.
No, but she's great with a hose. She keeps it moist. It's all about the moisture, and not under or over watering. Matilda, it just keeps the right level of moisture.
Is it best in a bed, Dickie?
Some people like it in a bed, some up against the wall. There are even those who prefer it in and out of the trellis work. I prefer my vines to cling to natural wood.
Stop! Stop, please! Moist! I might need another whiz break.
Uncle, what else do you grow?
Everything. We eat only that which we grow. Celery, lettuce, spinach, carrots, radishes.
Don't you sometimes feel like little rabbits then, or a gopher?
No, we're strictly vegetarians.
Listen, Valmai. Leave the jokes to your mother, my child.
Dame Edna, your mother is here in the green room. Should I let her in?
Yes!
Whatever.
I don't know why they're doing this.
Wait, how did she get in here?
It's something on my face. I have no clue what's going on. It's just ridiculous. I have to listen to the words very carefully.
What is she saying?
I don't know.
Why is she wearing a mask?
Mother, we are whizzing. You don't need a mask. Oh, good Lord. Kenny, read her lips.
I can't behind a mask.
Well, this is just great. We'll never know what she's saying.
Oh, you're one to talk.
Mother, take off the mask. We're more distance than Valmai's legs during high school. You won't catch anything.
I'm going to catch something, I'm sure, but I just can't believe I can have to.
Oh, that's what she's saying.
I tried the Wiz subtitle feature, but I don't think it's working.
Wait, I think Mother sounds a bit like one. One Lung Ho. Can you make out what she is saying?
Keep it up and I just talk.
No. 种族歧视.
Oh, I think she said my name. She's giving it all to me.
I think she said Acne, not Agnes.
This is pointless.
Oh, screw it. I can't breathe behind this mask. If I catch the COVID, so be it.
Mother, you don't need a mask. You're alone in your room and you've had your vaccine.
Mother, did you get the Moderna or the Pfizer? Did you have any kind of reaction?
Did you get the Johnson & Johnson?
Did you have a difficult time getting in because there was...
who cares? Don't start all that crap again.
Grandmama, why are you holding a bedpan?
Well, you said we were going to be whizzing, didn't you? I can't be two places at once.
Oh, dear Lord, open the gate. She'll be up in a moment. Mother, do you have something you want to tell us?
What?
Your special announcement?
I won the Mahjong tournament. Well, don't everyone congratulate me at once.
Oh,
I'm so excited you won Mahjong.
I have something else to share with you.
Yes.
I finished my will.
Yes.
And one of you lucky sons of bitches.
It's me.
It's me.
Is going to inherit my entire fortune.
Yes.
Every single cent. None of you deserve it. I mean, I might as well leave it to the houseboy.
Yes.
But he's not blood. So.
Oh, for the love of Peter, Mother, just spit it out.
Is Peter there? I don't see Peter.
Mother, one last time. Who is getting your estate?
I am leaving my entire estate, including this bedpan.
Crap.
Well, I guess we're just going to have to wait for the sequel to find out who got Mother's fortune. We had a couple other comments that have come in. Welcome back, Brian. Michelle Cullen has said that she's kind of sad that this is the last show in our virtual season. I'm sort of relieved, but yeah, it's been an adventure, which is hopefully you'll stick around and hear all about the adventure during our talkback. But speaking of sequels, Brian, tell us what's happening in Chapel Street right after we do Moon Over the Brewery.
So after Moon Over the Brewery, we're actually going to move into our 87th season. It seems amazing to think we're up to 87. We're going to start in November with a special capital campaign event. It's going to be a musical event. We're not giving a whole lot of details right now, except that it will be a fundraiser. We're trying to keep some parts of this secret. But as some of you know, and we'll be talking about it a little bit later in our talkback, we're looking at moving to a new space less than a mile away. And so we want to kick off our capital campaign for that. After that, in December, our first main stage would be a show that was meant to have happened last year.
Right.
It's called A Christmas Carol. It's a radio play. I'm directing that. I'm very excited. I love doing the radio plays. It'll also be good for the cast coming back because in radio play, you can read from scripts. And so that will help them probably coming out of this COVID time. And so it's a great thing for grandparents to bring your grandkids to and see what it was like before video games and TVs. And we'll have more information coming soon on not only those events, but also the rest of the season.
Indeed. Mama says, I think we should ask Kenny to sing in the next reunion. If there is another reunion, hopefully if there is, it'll be on stage.
It will. I don't know what Kenny's voice is like, although I've heard one has heard him sing many times.
Wow. That's probably very exciting.
I'm sure it was. I don't know. I would be curious to hear what Kenny's accent's like when he's singing.
Yes, that would be... I might have to think about that. So we hope you enjoyed the show, and after the credits, there's a very special scene, so you want to stick through the credits, but you also want to stick through the credits because Brian and I will be talking just for a little bit about this whole virtual season, and you get to see behind the scenes, which is a lot of fun. We'll talk about all the shows that we did. So for right now, take a look at the credits in the final scene, and we'll be right back with our talkback.
Dame Edna? Are you there? Bertha didn't quite make it. Sorry. But that's all she wrote, folks.
So, welcome to our talk back. We're going to talk about our virtual season. So, of course, COVID hit in March, the pandemic, and we had to close our doors. And we moved initially, not knowing, no one knew how long this was all going to last. We moved Moon Over the Brewery and The Odd Couples to the fall. And of course, that didn't work out. But so I, with my life outside of Chapel Street, my own arts company, Effervescent Productions, I was doing some live streams back in the quarantine. I was doing some live streams as the Dame, and then sort of, friends watching from Chapel Street, we thought, wow, we could do the same thing. We need to keep the arts alive. We need to keep active and keep our patrons engaged for we didn't know how long it was going to be. So initially the board approved doing a virtual season that was going to be September, because our seasons start in September, and we're going to do it September through December. But of course, the pandemic kept going. So then the board agreed that we were going to do it, extend it all the way through the whole season to June and just call it our virtual season. And what's really shocking, Brian, and I think we sort of halfway through the year, we thought about this, and we actually did more shows this year than any year. We were bringing shows every single month, except maybe January. We had a break. But other than that, it was constant stream of shows.
It was, and quite a bit of work for us, especially because we were working on through new technology that we weren't used to, and shows had different formats, and it was all of us just trying to. I mean, it's not like we do film regularly. We're live theater.
Live theater.
So having to go through that. So be sure, though, if you have any questions or comments, please put them into chat, and we'd be happy to answer those. But to get back to the technology, so we were trying to figure out then which technology would work the best for us to do live performances. And when Peter and I had started helping Scott with some of the Dame shows, and we were looking at different ones, particularly when he's having guests on, and what was going to be the best way to do that. So we were looking at the difference between Zoom, which most of us are familiar with, and also StreamYard. And one of the advantages of StreamYard is you can put people into sort of like a green room almost, or they're separate. They're in the stream, but you don't see them. So you only see on screen the people that we bring in and out, which is the closest thing to a stage performance that you could get, because whoever's in the scene are the ones that are on stage. So once we'd figured out the format that we were going to go through, so then shows themselves, though, were completed in different ways. So we had some shows that were completed by being completely recorded. So everything you saw was at a recorded event. So our first Dame show, that was our September show, was done that way. It was done in segments. And then
But the nice thing was filmed at the theater. So we were actually at Chapel Street doing the filming.
No, and that was nice to be back at Chapel Street and being able to film there. And we wanted to start the season off with actually being at the theater, because we felt that was a great homage then. And we couldn't be there, with audiences, but we could with the show. And so I'm sure we'll be talking more about that show as we're going through this. But that was sort of our first foray into this. But it was completely recorded from beginning to end, with a lot of editing and stuff being added post-production for that. Another production that was completely recorded but in a different way was Spoon River. Now, Spoon River, what they did is they recorded each act fully. And so it was a full recording for each one. And then they also had some unique challenges that they had to go through, because the way that it was filmed is that each of the faces in Spoon River were supposed to look like they're in a cemetery and this ghostly thing around them.
Yeah. Carol just commented on that. And yes, Carol was involved, and great job. And because the actors, as she's pointing out in her comment, and this, like you said, the Dame show filmed in segments, and we could go back and do things over. Bill Fellner directing Spoon River, it was constant straight through. And the actors not only had to worry about coming in and out, muting, not muting, unmuting, they had to sort of keep their head. Bill had created that nice, hazy, ghost-like frame was so appropriate for Spoon River. And the actors had to keep their head like in very specific spot. Not, couldn't be doing all this.
No, which... for any actor, certainly, because of the way that we're used to emoting and things like that, you're not used to having to stay within a static spot. Yeah. So, it did create some challenges. But then Dame show had its own challenges, then the continuity, where because a lot of the things were filmed out of order because of the way that the set was changing throughout. So we'd film some things out of order. And any time that we came in, the Dame glass that you were drinking from,
it magically refilled itself or lowered itself. Yes,
changing, or depending on how many takes we had, it would be a lot lower by the end of those takes.
Yeah, and then this Dame show, we decided to mix it up. So we had parts obviously that were recorded, and then you and I are live. And then you did the first actual live as it was happening show. So that was what was it?
That was Miracle on 34th Street, which was a radio play. It was actually great for the cast to do a radio play, partly because they could also use scripts. But one thing about that is that we did it completely live, all 3 performances. And because I wanted to keep that radio show aspect, even though you're seeing them, but keep that radio show feel where it is a live event. We also, one of the great things about doing these things over through live casts is that anybody around the world can watch them. So assistant director that I've worked with many times, Susan Boudreaux, she's moved to Florida, but I was still able to have her be my assistant director during that because she was in the streams when we were doing rehearsals as well. And then something very exciting for us, which again, because of being over StreamYard, we were able to do. The playwright for that is a local playwright. She's up in Northern Jersey, and Zazie, awesome name. And I told her that we were doing a live streaming of this, and she was very excited because she said she had never seen one of her shows live streamed. And so I said that if she wanted to come, she could. And if she wanted to, and she said she'd be there on closing performance. And I said if she had time after and wanted to talk to the cast, that it would be great if she could. And she did join us we didn't, because at that point, all of our cast parties were
virtual too.
Virtual
over Zoom. Zoom cast party. Yes.
So she joined our cast party, and it was amazing to hear her feedback. She had seen other live stream performances of other productions, some being from professional companies, and she said that what we were doing was pretty remarkable and that she was very impressed with the work that we had done.
Yeah, and speaking of work, this is a lot of work. As Brian mentioned, we are not film people, so we're going to show you some fun outtakes or bloopers, as you call them. We tried not to stop. We tried to keep going through the film and through the filming process, and sometimes it didn't work out. Michelle just made a comment about green screens, and yes, some of the shows use green screens, and that was I don't want to say a curse word on a live stream on a Sunday afternoon, but yeah, so that was a major pain. But we would try to do like things in one take, as they say, and then maybe edit stuff out. And then one of the concerns, as you mentioned, with lines is that the actors have been spoiled. Actors have to memorize lines, a 2-hour play. And now we have because we're, sitting in the comfort of our living room or, wherever, study doing this filming, we could have the script in front of us on the screen, or some people had it printed out. And then some actors even had their wives act as cue card holders or something. So that's what this first blooper reel is about. It's about what can go wrong when you're filming and not filmers. Yeah. Anything else anybody wants to check? Walt, did you have a wig on last time?
I think so.
All right.
Quiet on set. Quiet on set. That means be quiet for the next 5 minutes, please.
Are you okay, Michelle?
Yeah, I just put a note on the door that says quiet on set so that when Rick comes back with food, he doesn't make a lot of noise.
Michelle, do you have your ring light on your lap inside today?
Oh, no. Hold on.
Oh, wait, it might be in one of my trunks. Hold on. Dave, sometimes these things just fall between the cracks. It's got to be here somewhere. Sorry to be such a pain in the butt.
So is that hand supposed to be in the?
No.
Yeah. I am. Yeah. So they're. Oh, hold on. Sorry. We're live. Also in this season, as Michelle Opalesky had mentioned, that you had to also get very creative. When you're doing a show in the theater, we're paying companies to royalties, and those royalties at times can be a little bit high. And because we were offering our season completely free, it just was going to be cost prohibitive for us to do that. The only show,
not a lot of the production houses, you can't do a live stream of it.
That's
of a
true
play.
also.
Yeah.
And so we were doing a lot of original content, and then we even had some people then that were writing scripts. And so Michelle Cullen wrote an original play based on a movie, Seven Chances. And then we also had Next, one of our playwriting groups. It's actually a part of Chapel Street. That's what they do, with playwriting, and so they had some original content also as part of their production at the end of the year. And also, yes, Scott. I mean, Scott probably did the yeoman's work of writing, because it was both Dame shows and the mystery show. Helping with get some shows in there. So yes. So the next clip then is when there's a scene. The first 6 minutes of the Damey Bunch took us well over an hour to film. Part of it was filmed in segments. The first part we had to film was Scott dressed like this, talking as Scott, because he's then supposed to be talking to Dame. So we filmed that section, which that got a little bit complicated at points, because then Scott had to then pause.
You recorded me, and I've been wearing the shirt for months, you recorded me say my lines like I was talking to the Dame and Mr. Bryan and one. No, not one. The Dame talks to one, but that was filmed first, and then we had to sort of guess at the pause. But
yes,
there was no stretching the pause.
No, there was no. It was like you had to hit those marks, and there was blocking in there. And as I said, it took well over an hour just to do what essentially ended up becoming a 6-minute piece. We did a lot of a bit of trial and a lot of error to get this one right. And so here you can see parts of our segments are very edited, but parts of our segments from that.
Yeah.
If I may make a suggestion, what if we go ahead, Dame, and record the interviews with your special guests, and then Scott, we can plug them into the live show next weekend.
Here's your martini, Dame.
Let me think.
If I may make a suggestion, what if we go ahead, Dame, and record the interviews with your special guests, and then Scott, we can plug them into the live show next weekend.
Does that work for you? Let me think. Well, that could take longer than the show.
Dame, here's your martini.
Dave, do you still have the bios of the guests that I sent to you?
That's okay. That's okay. You lost your place in yours.
I did.
Yeah.
God.
That one was going well.
I know. I have to keep going with the script. I was too busy acting. Sorry, Peter. That was my bad.
Can I make one comment? The other part with this, with Mr. Bryan, is that I was probably across 5 or 6 or 3 or 4 different locations where I was actually playing Mr. Bryan. So I seemed to be on mics, different mics every single time. And then some of them were actually pre-recorded stuff when I was Kenny. It was pre-recorded so that then I could play it at the same time in the middle of the scene. And then some were actually added after the fact. We left blanks and then added them after the fact. So Mr. Bryan may sound different throughout the entire show because it's from different sources. And that whole scene we were filming there, I was actually at Scott's while Peter was here at home playing one. So, yeah.
Yeah. Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third. And it, besides the creativity, it also gave people a chance to do some, special projects. We don't do a lot of one acts, but Michelle Cullen and Judy David, who are actresses and directors and stage managers, they're always looking for good plays for women, and they stumbled across the one act that featured 3 female comedians in a competition. It was quite fun, and so it was an opportunity directed by women and women, predominantly women in the cast, so that was great. And just like doing a stage show, I think people assume this is really easy. I mean, beyond all the technical stuff, there's still the aspects of theater that we have to do. I mean, we had to do blocking but we had to block for a camera as opposed to blocking for a stage, and you only have a small space to work in. and what's in the shot, and oh wait, we can see a window or the chair's moved or something. Again, the continuity, and with intricate blocking on screen is really hard, and then it takes rehearsals. And who would know that a simple bit of ironing some clothes and throwing them across the room would also be like, that was a 60-second bit, and I think that took at least half an hour to an hour.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at that very funny rehearsal for ironing.
I also want one of your like thongs or one of your like underwear things that are like like you have an orange thong, or
what color do you want?
Orange would be good. Something that's going to be bright as it goes across.
Great. You weren't good at softball, were you?
I played football, but it had nothing to do with throwing or catching the ball. That one was good.
Yeah. So before you toss the shirt, hold the shirt up. Yes. And then toss it. Perfect. Brilliant. Perfect. 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 Perfect.
All right.
That was it. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like you quickly ironed it. Do you have the thong? You should, again, hold out the thong, then bring it back like you're ironing it, and then throw it. Yeah.
I think the orange one reads better.
Yeah, it does. And I love the fact that it looks like you just took it off and then it goes out of shot like you're ironing it and then it goes away.
Okay.
I think the thing we're all going to miss when we go back to the real world is having to wear pants again. And we can't wear pajama bottoms. So anyway, we're getting ready to wrap up here soon. So if you have any final questions or comments, we'd love to have you do that. It's a great way for you to participate with us. And also, speaking of participation, and thank you for the shout outs. Speaking of participation, there was actually 2 very unique performances that got audiences to participate in really unique ways. The first was a mystery that we did that Scott had written, and it was done over a week. It was done as sort of five mini episodes with a big episode at the end that revealed who the murderer was. And it was a really unique show, a mix of recordings, but then also live. There was a lot of live where Scott was playing a character talking to the audience, and he encouraged them to make guesses or talk about
they did.
clues.
I mean, the people, and they were not even from Delaware, people, again, viewing across the country. And there are people that got really hooked on it and were, following along and making comments, like people watching today saying, oh, I thought that looked suspicious, or it was a fun experience.
Well, and it was what I found really fun about that is that, so I sort of knew where it was going, but you see people making comments that are like dead on. I'm like, wow, like they are really, really paying attention, because if I hadn't seen the script, I probably would not have caught, and some of them even telling clues that had nothing that wasn't even real. There was the one, it was a bracelet or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, somebody noted. Yeah, I think it was a continuity issue.
It was a continuity issue that somebody had a bracelet and then later didn't have the bracelet or something like that.
They call it the continuity.
So that was a great way for our audiences to participate in a very unique way. And then the other is that we did Do More 24, where basically it's a fundraising campaign for 24 hours for arts organizations. And nonprofits. Thank you. And so we did a virtual variety show, and I have to say that was so much fun, because we opened it up to basically that anybody could submit videos. So we did that one again. It was a mix of live hosts and then also which was you and Michelle.
And the submitted videos.
They could submit videos.
Yeah.
And we got videos from actors and performers that we're used to seeing, but then also people who we haven't seen at our theater, had not worked at our Chapel Street, and then even from a patron who was the most adorable one playing the accordion
woman.
And so that was a whole other way then to get audience participation, where people were submitting videos.
Yeah, and we were really happy to participate and get some success with the Do More 24 campaign, because it's helping us finance this move that we keep referring to. For those of you who don't know, we are working out an agreement with Lang Development, where they will build us a new theater near White Clay Creek, just beyond Timothy's there, and then they will build an apartment complex on our spot. It is right now it's all great news. We'll have parking right outside the theater, not a lot of noise from neighbors.
Nice,
the parking,
and no noise will be nice.
No noise next door. So it's a great opportunity for both Lang Development and Chapel Street players. And right now it's in the negotiation phase with the city. We got to tweak this, tweak that. So hopefully that will keep moving along, and we'll have more news about that as it progresses, and we'll send it out in our newsletter. It'll be on our website, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't think there's any other comments or questions coming in, so we're going to wrap it up. But, just like film, people love seeing the deleted scenes on YouTube, or they buy the DVD because they want to see deleted scenes. And yes, there was even some, and we get it though. We understand that, because sometimes it just, you write it, but it doesn't work. And so we'll leave you with an actual scene that did not make its way in the Dame bunch and was deleted.
This scene was at the very, very end, after we came out of when you get interrupted from the mother.
Yeah.
Where she's cut off. It was supposed to happen, but right there.
Yeah, but it just didn't flow. It didn't flow. So thank you for tuning in to our Talkback and to the Dame bunch and to all of our Chapel Street virtual season. We will see you when the doors open again. When the doors open again on September 17th, we'll hopefully see you there. Meanwhile, here is the deleted scene, woohoo, from the Dame bunch.
Oh, here, Bertha. Let me get out of your way. Bertha? Bertha?